All right, so legacy. The word can feel kind of
Yeah,
intimidating, like reserved for royalty or I don't know, people with their faces on money.
exactly.
But this deep dive, we're going to bust that myth wide open.
Love it.
We're going deep with Carma Spence's Right to Lead newsletter. Carma has some really thought-provoking ideas about how legacy is for everyone, especially if you're like in the business world.
Yeah, it's so true. What really struck me about her perspective is this idea that legacy isn't just about statues and being remembered.
Right.
It's about the impact you have on others,
Okay.
that ripple effect of your actions and your knowledge.
So no pressure then. But seriously, it makes you think, what will people remember us for?
Exactly. And Spence actually argues that this is a question that business leaders should be asking themselves constantly. She says that building a legacy can bridge the gap between achieving success, hitting those goals, climbing the ladder,
Right.
and actually being significant, leaving a lasting mark on your industry or even the world.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's less about the corner office and more about like what you do at the corner office once you get there.
You got it.
Mm.
And Spence dives into some really tangible benefits of legacy building.
Oh, cool.
And one that really stood out to me was the idea of establishing authority. By sharing your expertise and building a legacy, you essentially position yourself as a thought leader,
Right.
someone people look up to and trust.
That makes sense, especially in today's world where everybody's trying to make noise online.
Exactly.
But Spence takes us a step further with this fascinating concept of
Yeah.
legacy books, right?
Yes. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
She identifies 11
11.
different types of legacy books.
Wow. Okay.
We're talking family legacy, industry legacy,
Mm-hmm.
even creative and environmental legacy books.
Okay, 11 types is a lot to unpack. Can we zoom in on a few that might be particularly relevant to our listener?
Sure.
I'm picturing someone who's maybe running their own business, trying to figure out how to make a real impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind is the industry legacy book.
Okay.
Imagine writing a book that distills your years of experience,
Mm.
the lessons you've learned, the insider knowledge that could help others in your field avoid pitfalls and achieve their goals.
That's a powerful idea. It's like passing the torch, leaving behind a guide for the next generation.
Exactly.
But honestly, writing a whole book can feel pretty daunting.
I hear you. But Spence argues that a book doesn't have to be this massive, intimidating project.
Right.
It could be a collection of blog posts, a series of case studies,
Okay.
even just a beautifully designed journal with prompts
Oh, interesting.
to help people reflect on their own legacy.
So maybe book is more of a metaphor for capturing your knowledge and your experience in some kind of tangible form.
Yes.
And Spence isn't just talking theory here. She lays out concrete steps.
She
So
does
you
some action, right? Exactly. She has this 3-step process.
Yeah.
Define your vision, choose your pathway,
Okay.
take consistent action.
All right, let's break those down.
Okay.
First up, defining your vision. What does that actually look like?
Think of it as crafting a mission statement
Okay.
for your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's about asking yourself those big, sometimes uncomfortable questions. What impact do I want to have on the world?
Ooh, big questions.
What do I want to be remembered for?
Right.
What problem do I want to solve?
So it's not just about setting goals, it's about getting crystal clear on the why behind those goals, the deeper purpose that's driving you.
You got it. And this vision becomes your guiding star,
Okay.
helping you make decisions and take actions
Right.
that are aligned with your ultimate legacy goals.
Makes sense. But once you've got that vision in place,
Yeah.
how do you actually bring it to life?
Right. That's where choosing your pathway comes in.
Exactly. And Spence acknowledges there are so many ways to build a legacy. Writing is one path, but it's not the only one.
Right.
She talks about mentorship, philanthropy, community involvement, and that's where things get really exciting.
Okay. So let's say our listener is someone who's really passionate about supporting young entrepreneurs in their community.
Okay.
How could they translate that passion into a tangible legacy?
Well, imagine creating a mentorship program, sharing their business expertise,
Right.
and helping those young entrepreneurs avoid the mistakes that they made when they were starting out.
I love that. Or they could maybe establish a scholarship fund or something
Or that, exactly.
to help underprivileged students pursue their entrepreneurial dreams.
Yeah.
Those are great examples.
Mm-hmm.
It really shows how legacy can be built through actions and impact, not just words on a page. Exactly. And it's all about finding the pathway that best aligns with your skills, your resources, and the impact that you want to create.
But Spence also stresses the importance of consistent action.
Yes.
Right. It's not enough to just have a vision or a plan. You got to actually put in the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She uses the analogy of a snowball rolling downhill.
Okay.
It starts small, but with consistent momentum, it grows bigger and more powerful over time.
Right.
And that's the same with legacy building.
Okay.
It's about taking those small, consistent steps day after day that ultimately lead to a lasting impact.
Okay. I'm starting to feel fired up. It's like we've gone from legacy feeling like this abstract concept to something that's actually achievable even for us, regular folks.
Absolutely.
But let's circle back to the idea of writing a legacy book.
Okay.
What are some of the real practical benefits that someone might experience from putting their thoughts and their experiences down in this way?
Well, for one, it can be a game changer for your authority and credibility. Think about it.
Yeah.
When you write a book, you're essentially positioning yourself as an expert in your field.
It's like you're saying, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've done that.
Exactly.
And I'm here to share what I've learned.
And that can open doors to new opportunities.
Okay.
Whether it's speaking engagements,
Right, good.
consulting gigs, or even attracting clients who are specifically looking for someone with your level of expertise.
But beyond the professional benefits, writing a book can also be a profoundly personal journey.
Absolutely.
Right. It forces you to confront your own story.
Yeah.
To reflect on your values, to articulate your vision for the future.
It's like you're not just sharing your knowledge, you're also clarifying your own thinking and deepening your understanding of yourself in the process.
Absolutely. And that can be incredibly empowering.
Yes.
You're essentially taking ownership of your narrative, shaping your legacy, leaving behind a piece of yourself that can inspire and impact others for years to come.
I love that.
That's a powerful image. But Spence doesn't just stop at the personal level, right?
Right.
She also connects this idea of legacy to business strategy.
You're right. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Spence argues that for entrepreneurs, legacy can be a strategic asset, a way to differentiate themselves in a crowded marketplace and build a brand that stands for something more than just profit.
So how does that play out in the real world? What are some concrete examples of how entrepreneurs can leverage legacy as a business strategy?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
When a company has a strong legacy,
Right.
a reputation for ethical behavior, social responsibility, making a positive impact, it attracts customers who share those values.
It's like your legacy becomes a magnet.
Yes.
Drawing in people who are looking for more than just a product or a service. They want to support businesses that are aligned with their own values and vision for the world.
And that can be a huge differentiator in today's market.
Right, where consumers are increasingly discerning.
Yes.
And are looking to support businesses that are making a real difference.
Absolutely.
But building a legacy, especially one that's aligned with your business, takes intentionality.
It does.
Right. It's about weaving those values and that vision into everything.
Everything
you do.
Yes.
So it's not just about slapping a mission statement on your website. It's about walking the walk, living your values, and making sure those values are reflected in your products.
Right.
Your services, your customer interactions, even your internal company culture.
Absolutely. It's about creating a cohesive brand experience.
Right.
That's rooted in authenticity.
Yeah.
And a deeper purpose.
And when you do that, your legacy becomes more than just like a marketing tactic.
It does.
It becomes a core part of your brand identity.
Exactly.
And that's what attracts those loyal customers. The ones who are not just buying your product, but buying into your vision, your values, and your commitment to making a positive impact.
Exactly. And those are the kinds of customers who stick around.
Right.
Who become advocates for your brand.
Yeah.
And who help you build a legacy that lasts.
Okay, so we've talked about the why of legacy building. We've talked about some of the pathways that someone could choose. But let's be honest, this can all feel a bit abstract.
It can.
What would you say to someone who's listening to this and thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but I don't even know where to begin?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Spence's approach is so helpful because she doesn't just talk about the big picture.
Right.
She gives you really concrete steps to get started. And remember, It doesn't have to be this massive undertaking.
Right.
Start small. Take one action today that aligns with the legacy you want to create.
And maybe it's mentoring someone for an hour.
Yeah.
Making a donation to a cause you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just spending 15 minutes journaling about your values and the impact you want to have on the world.
And don't underestimate the power of those small, consistent actions.
Right, like we were talking about.
Yes. Remember the snowball analogy?
Every little bit counts. All right, so we're starting to see the path forward.
Okay.
But before we dive deeper into those action steps, I want to touch on one more aspect of Spence's perspective that really resonated with me.
I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's this idea of expanded legacy,
Yeah.
which I think is so empowering.
I love that.
It's basically saying that your legacy isn't limited to just your professional achievements.
Oh, I love that. It's like acknowledging that we're multifaceted beings with so much to offer the world.
Right. It's not just about our job titles or our business success.
Right.
It's about our passions,
Yes.
our values, our relationships, our creative pursuits. All of it contributes to the legacy.
It all matters. It does.
And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Yes, it does.
For building a legacy that feels authentic and meaningful.
It's like we're not just building a single legacy, but rather a constellation of legacies, each shining brightly.
I love that.
Illuminating different aspects of our lives. Legacy isn't just this grand concept. It's something we can actively shape starting today.
And remember, those 3 key steps Spence lays out. Define your vision, choose your pathway, and take consistent action.
Exactly.
We've already touched on the vision part.
We have.
So now I'm curious about those pathways.
Yeah.
Spence mentions writing, mentorship, philanthropy. There's a whole buffet of options.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure for legacy building.
I like that.
And what's so great is you can tailor your approach to your unique strengths and passions.
Okay, so let's say your listener is someone who's really gifted at connecting with people.
Yeah. Building relationships and offering guidance. What kind of legacy path might resonate with them?
Mentorship could be an incredibly fulfilling path for them.
Okay.
Imagine the impact they could have by sharing their knowledge and experience with someone who's just starting out in their field.
Right.
Like paying it forward.
Yeah.
Creating a ripple effect of knowledge and support.
I love that image.
Yeah.
It's like planting a seed that grows into a whole forest of success.
Exactly.
But Spence also emphasizes the importance of consistent action.
She does.
Right. It's not enough to just have a vision or a plan.
You have to actually do it.
You have to put in the work.
Absolutely. Consistency is key, especially when it comes to building a legacy.
Okay.
It's those small daily actions that accumulate over time and create a lasting impact.
Makes sense.
Think of it like compound interest.
Okay, I'm getting a financial metaphor flashback.
I know, right? But I see what you mean. It's like those small, regular deposits into your legacy bank account that eventually add up to a significant sum.
Exactly. It's about making legacy building a part of your daily routine.
Okay.
Weaving it into your decisions and actions and not letting it get lost in the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
So maybe it's blocking off an hour each week to mentor someone?
Yes.
Or setting aside a small percentage of your income for charitable giving, or even just spending 15 minutes each day reflecting on your values, how you're living them out.
It's about finding ways to integrate legacy building into your life in a way that feels sustainable and meaningful.
But let's dive a bit deeper into this idea of writing a book as a legacy tool.
Right.
Spence obviously believes in its power.
She does.
Maybe book is more of a metaphor for capturing your knowledge and experience in some kind of tangible form.
In a tangible form, exactly.
It's about finding the format that works best for you and your goals. But why is writing in whatever form so powerful for legacy building? What makes it stand out?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, for one, it forces you to clarify your thoughts and ideas. The process of writing itself can be incredibly insightful.
Okay.
It's like you're having a conversation with yourself, exploring your beliefs, value, and the lessons you've learned along the way.
So it's not just about sharing your knowledge. It's about deepening your own understanding in the process. It's like those aha moments you have when you're writing, and you suddenly see something in a new light.
Exactly. And that clarity of thought can then translate into more effective action in other areas of your life.
That makes sense. But another powerful aspect of writing is that it allows you to reach a much wider audience.
Absolutely.
Right. A book can be shared with people all over the world.
Yes.
Long after you're gone.
That's right.
It's like leaving behind a piece of your wisdom and your story that can continue to impact others.
Yes.
For generations to come.
For generations to come, exactly.
That's what's so exciting about the idea of a legacy book.
Yes.
It's not just about documenting your experiences.
Right.
It's about creating something that can inspire, educate, empower others long after you've written the last word.
I love that.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits of writing.
Yeah.
But what about those folks who might be thinking, I'm no Shakespeare. I could never write a book.
I totally get it.
Right.
But here's the thing. Your book doesn't have to be a literary masterpiece.
Okay.
Spence emphasizes that it's more important to share your message authentically than to strive for perfection.
Right.
Your unique voice and experiences are valuable.
Yeah.
Even if you don't consider yourself a writer.
So it's about letting go of that inner critic.
Yes.
And just focusing on getting your message out there, even if it's messy or imperfect.
Yeah.
And remember, there are resources available to help you along the way.
There are.
You can work with a writing coach.
Yes.
Join a writing group. Or even hire an editor to polish your manuscript.
Exactly.
The important thing is to not let fear or self-doubt hold you back from sharing your story.
Absolutely.
That's such an important message. But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about how legacy can be a powerful tool for businesses.
Okay.
Spence argues that it can be a strategic asset, a way to differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace.
Absolutely. When you build a legacy, especially one that is rooted in authentic values and a commitment to making a positive impact, it creates a brand that people want to be a part of.
It's like attracting customers who are not just looking for a product or a service, but who are looking to align themselves with a company that shares their values and is making a difference in the world.
Exactly. And those customers become more than just buyers. They become advocates, ambassadors for your brand, spreading the word and helping to build your legacy.
It's like a virtuous cycle. The more you focus on building a legacy, the more you attract customers who are aligned with your values, and the more your legacy grows.
Exactly. But building a legacy, especially one that's integrated into your business, takes intentionality.
Right. What are some practical steps entrepreneurs can take to start weaving legacy into their company culture?
Well, a great first step is to really clarify your core values.
Okay.
What impact do you want to have on the world?
Those are big questions.
They are.
But then make sure those values are reflected in every aspect of your business.
Exactly.
From your products and services to your marketing messages.
Yes.
And your internal company policy. So it's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It's about making sure your actions are aligned with your stated values and that those values are visible to everyone who interacts with your brand.
It's about creating a cohesive brand experience that is rooted in authenticity and purpose.
But beyond values, what about the human element of legacy building? How can entrepreneurs create a company culture that encourages their employees to be legacy builders in their own right?
That's such an important question.
Yeah.
One powerful way is through mentorship. Encourage your employees to share their knowledge and experience with others, whether it's through formal mentorship program or informal guidance and support.
It's like creating a chain reaction.
It is.
Of legacy building.
Yeah.
Where everyone feels empowered to contribute their unique skills and talents.
Exactly.
With something bigger than themselves.
And beyond mentorship, create opportunities for professional development.
Okay.
Encourage volunteer work and celebrate those who are going above and beyond to make a positive impact both inside and outside the company.
So it's about creating a culture where legacy building is valued, recognized, and rewarded.
It becomes part of the company DNA.
But let's talk about storytelling.
Okay.
Spence emphasizes the power of sharing your story, your struggles, and your triumphs.
She does.
Why is storytelling so important in the context of legacy building?
Storytelling is the key to connecting with people on a deeper level. When you share your story, you're not just conveying information. You're sharing your humanity. You're letting people see your vulnerability, your challenges, and your triumphs.
And that creates a sense of empathy and relatability.
It does.
It's like you're saying, look, I'm just a regular person who had a dream and was willing to put in the work to make it happen.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, so can you.
Exactly.
And that message of hope and possibility can be incredibly powerful.
It inspires others to believe in their own potential and to pursue their own dreams.
So it's about sharing your story, not just to promote yourself or your business, but to inspire others to take action, to make a difference, and to build their own legacies.
Absolutely. And that's what makes legacy building so beautiful. It's not just about you.
Right.
It's about the ripple effect you create in the world. It's about inspiring others to make a difference, to leave their mark, to create a better future for generations to come.
It's like you're planting seeds of inspiration that can grow into something truly extraordinary.
Exactly. And that's what Spence's work is all about.
Yeah.
Helping people to tap into their potential, to embrace their legacy, and to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so we've talked about writing, mentorship, philanthropy, storytelling. There are so many pathways to choose from. But let's be honest, this can all feel overwhelming.
It can.
Where do we even begin?
That's a great question. And it's something that Spence addresses head on in her FAQ section, which I found incredibly helpful. She acknowledges that building a legacy can feel like a daunting task.
Right.
Especially if you're starting from scratch.
So what advice does she offer for those folks who might be feeling intimidated by the whole legacy building concept?
One of the biggest pieces of advice she gives is to not let perfection be the enemy of progress.
Okay, so don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Exactly. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a grand plan.
Okay.
And you certainly don't have to wait until you've achieved some arbitrary level of success before you start.
So it's about giving ourselves permission to start small.
Yes.
To experiment and to find what works best for us.
And she also emphasizes the importance of focusing on the journey.
Okay.
Not just the destination. Legacy building is an ongoing process.
Right.
A lifelong adventure of learning, growing, and making a difference.
It's about finding joy in the process.
Yes.
Celebrating the small wins and not getting too caught up in the end goal.
Absolutely.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
You don't.
There are countless resources available.
There are.
To support you on your legacy building journey.
That's right.
From mentors and coaches to books and online communities.
Absolutely.
It's about finding your tribe, connecting with people who share your values and your passion for making a difference in the world.
And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
Right.
Building a legacy is a team sport, and there are so many people who are willing to support you, guide you, cheer you on.
That's such an encouraging message. It's like we're all in this together, building a legacy of impact.
Yes.
One step at a time.
One step at a time, exactly.
We've covered so much ground already in our exploration of legacy building with Carma Spence's insights.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. We've gone from legacy feeling like this intimidating concept to something that's actually achievable no matter who you are or what you do.
And I think one of the most empowering takeaways from Spence's work is this idea that legacy is not a destination.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing journey.
It's not something you achieve at the end of your life.
Right.
It's something you cultivate every single day.
I love that.
Through your choices, your actions, and the impact you have on others.
So it's less about reaching some grand finale and more about like making conscious, values-driven decisions in each moment.
Exactly. And it's about recognizing that every interaction, every act of kindness, every time you share your knowledge or lend a helping hand, all of that contributes to the legacy you're building.
It's like we're all leaving behind these invisible footprints.
I love that.
These ripples of impact that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence.
And I think that's such a beautiful and empowering thought.
It is.
To know that even the smallest actions can have a lasting impact on the world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to come back to that question we posed earlier.
All right.
If you were to write a legacy book, what kind of book would it be?
Yeah, the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I think this is where the rubber really meets the road.
Right.
Where we move from exploring these concepts to actually envisioning our own unique contributions.
Before we sign off, what's one final message you want to leave our listeners with?
This has been such a rich conversation, but if I had to distill it down to one key takeaway, it would be this. Legacy is not something you leave behind. It's something you live every single day.
That's beautifully said.
Thank you.
It's a reminder that legacy is not about waiting for the perfect moment.
Right.
or achieving some arbitrary level of success. It's about embracing the journey.
Yes.
Making conscious choices. And striving to make a positive impact in each and every moment.
Exactly. It's about showing up authentically, sharing your gifts, and living a life that is aligned with your deepest values.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
You don't.
Surround yourself with people who inspire you.
Yes.
Support you.
Yeah.
And challenge you to be your best self.
Find your tribe. Build your community. And together, let's create a legacy that makes the world a brighter, more beautiful place.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into legacy building. A huge thank you to Carma Spence for her inspiring insights.
Yes, thank you, Carma.
And thank you, dear listeners, for joining us on this journey.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found it as thought-provoking and empowering as we have.
Me too.
Until next time, keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep growing.
Keep growing.
And keep making a difference.
Absolutely.
We'll leave links to Carma Spence's newsletter in the show notes. Happy legacy building.